Hey, it's Brian. Today it's a new guitar day, and I thought I'd unbox yet another new guitar. I've gotten two recently. I sold a lot of fuzz pedals and a lot of other pedals, and my Jazzmaster. I kind of had my eye on a few different guitars. One you'll be seeing soon, and then the one I'm showing today. It's kind of one of these guitars where I've been thinking about it for a long time, and once I unbox it, we can kind of talk about it a little more. But I'm super excited about this. It's a guitar I wouldn't normally have picked as far as some of the elements to it, I guess I'll just say nicely. But with all that said, I'm going to pull the box over and we can look at it. And I'm super excited to kind of use it in the context with playing music. So here we have the box. Nothing exciting. Seems like it's packed nice, all of that. The previous guitar I got was boxed amazingly well, and that was a new guitar from Sweetwater. This is a pre-owned guitar. I can't exactly remember where it was from, but it looks like it's packed sufficient enough. It will hopefully be intact, and then we'll be able to assess whether it was packed well or not. So, a little bit of backstory on this guitar. I have another guitar that I was going to put the Sustainer pickup in. I'm again forgetting if it's now called Sustainer or it's the Fernandez, or I'm not sure who owns the rights to that exactly. But to buy that pickup and all the electronics that's got a little board with it, it's I think around $300, maybe more. And then on a normal guitar, you'd have to have it routed out for a battery or somehow put it in the cavity. Most guitars don't have a lot of room for basically a 9-volt and a motherboard. I would say a majority of guitars don't. And so you got to get it routed out, whatever guitar that is. And I thought, with all that trouble, I'll just buy a guitar, this specific guitar, and solve that problem all by itself. So instead of spending a lot of money on a guitar, $500 guitar, my Strat has some cool pickups in it and all of that. Love the guitar. The bridge is terrible, but I do like the guitar. So instead of kind of gutting that guitar and maybe potentially wrecking it and turning a $500 guitar into a guitar worth nothing but with a Sustainer pickup in it, I decided to buy this guitar. And if you're a fan of Radiohead, you'll know what this guitar is instantly. And I was kind of looking around, and like I said, I sold so much stuff that I thought, I'm going to try some guitars I wouldn't normally buy. So here you go. It's the Ed O'Brien Stratocaster with the Sustainer pickup already in it. So, yeah, it's packed well enough. As long as it plays, I don't care. I am not a fan of Radiohead. I can't say I've listened to it. I've tried. It's just not my thing. I really dig Johnny Greenwood. I like all of his kind of more experimental stuff. He seems to be a really interesting guy. And obviously Radiohead's a very influential band and great songwriters and all of that. It just never really gelled with me. So anyway, here it is, the Ed O'Brien Strat. My second only guitar, no, third guitar with a maple fingerboard. And the other one was a Music Man Axis, the Eddie Van Halen one. And then I had a Geddy Lee bass that had a maple, fretboard or fingerboard, I guess is the proper terminology. So anyway, I don't know anything about this guitar. I don't even know if I'm going to like the Sustainer. I just know Vernon Reid has one, and yeah. Oh, it's got locking tuners. It's got the Fender locking tuners. That's kind of cool. That's great. So I got this guitar for pretty cheap. I mean, not super cheap, but it looks like an amazing guitar, and I can't wait to kind of start using it. So the build quality seems great. The action's high, so I always take it to a guy here in my town, and kind of have him look over it. He kind of saved my previous Strat that I haven't used in videos recently, but it was pretty much unplayable. Basically, the E and B strings were fretting out above the 12th fret, and he kind of looked at it and goes, "Oh, there's this common thing with right here on a lot of Strats, maybe even Tellies, I don't know, but on Strats, the neck kind of does a little dip or something like that, and you can kind of pull it out with the truss rod, and it flattens it out and makes it pretty playable." So, beautiful guitar. I love the finish. It's got, I believe this one is for the sustainer. I'm not sure what that one's for. It has this really funny, I think I saw some instructions online about it, and they were kind of worded kind of weird, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. So the back, obviously, that's what I'm saying. That's the battery, and that's for the electronics, the motherboard. So you'd have to do that on a Strat, that as a route, and so we're talking probably $600 by the time you're done. At least my guy. I didn't ask for a dollar amount because I'm just like, I'm gonna just buy one of these, and if I don't like it, I'll pass it on. Maybe I lose $100. I rent it for a year or two and call it good. But cool guitar. So the Ed O'Brien model. I had my eye on these for a long time, and you know why I didn't do it is because of the maple fingerboard. So I'm excited to kind of get it set up and play it a little bit. I'm excited to hear the sustainer, how it works, and the main reason why I'm interested in the sustainer is because I use the EBow a lot, and I know there's people that are incredible at it that can kind of switch and do almost like sweeping stuff with it. I'm not going to invest that amount of time into it, so I usually pick one string, maybe switch between the G and the B, and kind of center on those, maybe the D. But I don't do a lot of string switching because you do have to have that focal point pretty close to the string, and it would take a lot of practice, and I'm just interested in kind of getting that sound. And so when I'm working on an ambient guitar record, and I've been using that quite a bit. I find a sweet spot, and I just do like a melody or something to build kind of layers with it, and that's been cool. But I thought it'd be great to kind of be able to activate that anywhere on the guitar without having to move the EBow around. So now I don't know how exactly this works. I haven't even watched an instructional video on it. I just thought the idea sounds cool. I've always thought the idea was great. I know Steve Vai has some guitars equipped with them. Again, Vernon Reid has had them in his Hamers, I don't know, probably for a couple of decades. And I really can't think of anyone else off the top of my head that has them. So this may be, me acquiring a guitar and passing it on, or maybe it becomes my main guitar. Pretty much standard Strat stuff. It does have, I don't know what the pickup is. I'm assuming it's probably a JB, so something kind of hot. I did this same thing with the Blue Sky, or Blue Sky, Silver Sky, and that is a Hot Rails kind of double coil, like humbucker, mini humbucker, and the bridge. I just don't care about single coils that much to kind of keep it that way. No matter what guitar I've had that has had single coils, they have eventually had a mini double coil or humbucker, excuse me, in the bridge. Whether it was the Silver Sky, this Strat, I had a previous Strat where I changed them all to mini humbuckers. That was kind of absurd. So I don't have to do this with this guitar, which was another reason. I just thought, it's already got kind of what I would normally do to a guitar, plus a sustainer. So hey, if you know a lot about this guitar, I'd love to hear about it, like what your experiences are, because it seems pretty popular. I haven't seen anyone use them, and I'm not in the right circles, I don't think, but I can't wait to kind of get it set up and then kind of try it with uh, slowly getting a band together, very slowly. And I'd love to incorporate kind of those long, kind of ebo, like sustaining notes into stuff just for fun. So, anyway, this is my new guitar, adding it to my very small collection. Like I said, recently I usually, if I'm buying a guitar, I sell a guitar, which means I don't usually have a lot of them. I have the Silver Sky, have this Strat, I have another one that I'm doing the video for that you'll see. I have a Paul Reed Smith hollow body. That's the one I've had for a long time. I get rid of that, then I'll never have enough money to buy another one, so I keep that. And then I have that older Strat that I've done a lot of work on to get to play, and such a different guitar than the PRS that I kind of really drawn to it. And then the Jazzmaster was just kind of fun thing during the pandemic, and even that I switched that bridge pickup out to a Curtis Novak Stealth Humbucker, and I'm not sure I would have done that. I probably would have switched it back if I would have kept it. And that guitar is really cool for heavy stuff because most metal players want to dampen that kind of vibration, behind the nut, or like with a Jazzmaster, you've got that long run of strings to the bridge, and they just like if you got a lot of gain and you go to stop, they keep ringing, and I kind of dug that. It's not exactly a super tight aesthetic, I'm not a tight metal player, so in a way it makes sense for me to have something that's a little gnarly and kind of has a lot of humility or something to it, like there's some flaw to it to some degree or whatever. But anyway, this is my new guitar. Chime in, let me know what you think, let me know if you have one, and look for guitar stuff soon. Thanks.